very important vote will be taken by the Baltimore County Council next Monday, one that could determine the future of Coke Point, the former home of Sparrows Point, for the next 50 years. Trade Point Atlantic wants to build a private shipping terminal there, and to do so, it is asking for the largest tax credit in county history, a tax credit worth hundreds of millions of dollars in tax relief. And that is the subject of a really interesting and important report by our media partner, the Baltimore Banner. And reporter Jack Bologna is here. Thanks for coming in, Jack. Appreciate it. All right, so you say this would be the first totally private container terminal in the country. In other words, it's not on public land, it's on private land. Obviously, the benefits for the county, pretty straightforward: jobs, an economic boost, etc. But there's a huge tax relief. So those who are against it, what are the cons to the project?
Yeah, well, maybe I'll start off by saying, there are a lot of people in support of it, including every former living county executive. But I did talk to a local resident who is very concerned about it because it is a massive tax credit, no matter how you slice it, both in terms of the years, the amount of revenue affected, and also just the potential economic impact of a new container terminal at Sparrows Point. I think the concern that this resident had is that it's really difficult to calculate, because of the length of this tax credit, how valuable it could be. This is going to be a container terminal that is like a $1.1 billion investment is what's expected. It's going to be a huge project, and this tax credit would exempt much of its tax bill for 50 years.
So this would really expand the economic impact of the Baltimore port. I mean, it would be a tremendous addition. It's in a different location than the Seagirt one that we have now. And you cited a number of jobs that it will bring with it. 18,000, or what was the number?
Trade Point Atlantic hired a consultant that estimates that there's going to be about 8,000 direct and indirect jobs created as a result of this. It is important to note that this port, or this terminal, will compete with an existing container terminal at Seagirt that viewers might be familiar with. And the partner in this deal that Trade Point is working with is a subsidiary of MSC, which is the world's largest shipping company. Many of the ships that MSC has now are going to Seagirt, and so presumably they'd be going to this new terminal at Sparrows Point.
All right, the vote is on Monday. It's pretty likely it'll be voted through. If you live in Baltimore County, it's important to pay attention to this vote on Monday. And I would also urge you, read this article. It's very, very in-depth, very well researched. And if you live in the county, it's important. Thank you, Jack, for coming in. To read it and other great independent reporting from our media partner, the Baltimore Banner, head to thebanner.com. Rochelle.